Hello, it's Jackie with video number 9 in my series on New Age Christianity. Just a reminder that transcripts for all these videos can be found at my blog at jacquelinejoan.com. Last time I said that I wanted to use this video to answer any questions that anybody might have or respond to any comments. Well, I didn't get any, so hopefully that's a good sign. But I picked a topic, and I'm kind of all decked out for St. Patrick's Day here, which is very appropriate because the topic I want to talk about today is organized religion and what place, if any, it has in the new Aquarian age. Now, I undertake this topic with a little bit of fear and trepidation because I know how organized religion is such an important part of so many people's lives. And I don't want to do anything at all to interfere with that in any way. But I also know that there are people who are questioning the place that religion has in their lives as they move along on their spiritual path. Maybe sometimes the religions and the religious practices from their past just aren't resonating anymore, and they're kind of unsure where to go with that. So I'd like to provide some thoughts for them as they struggle with these questions. Now, because this is about New Age Christianity, I will be talking primarily about the Christian religion, which is, of course, the one I've followed my whole life. But I imagine that most of what I say will also apply to other organized religions as well. I believe that organized religion, as we have all known it for our whole lives probably, is a product of the past Piscean age that we've just left. And when I think of organized religion, I think of something that's marked by dogma, doctrines, creeds, rules, and so forth. It involves an external deity who is separate from the people who worship him, and it is always him. In traditional Christianity, you very rarely hear God referred to as her, so it's always him. It separates people from this external God. God is out here somewhere, and we're here, and there's this separation between us. But it also separates people from each other according to their religious beliefs. So it determines who is saved according to what they believe or how they live. And so, by definition, there's going to be an in-group that's saved and an out-group that's not. So it just kind of naturally creates a separation between people. Organized religion is also marked by various ceremonies, sacraments, rituals, which are designed to bring people close to this external deity. If God is out there somewhere, then you need some way to bring yourself close to God. So there's a lot of things to do that. A lot of people, unfortunately, have been hurt by organized religion, from Catholic altar boys who have been abused by priests to LGBTQ people who have been excluded from churches. But the other side of the coin is there's also a lot of people who have been helped by it, and it has played a pivotal role in their lives. The Piscean age we just left was the age of the Christ, the embodiment of the love of God. And that love, that Christ, was manifest in Jesus. Jesus is the God made man, the human God, if you will, the material incarnation of the deity. So the age of this human God is marked by concrete physical rituals and by bodies of people who gather together and support one another as they all follow the same or similar path. It's also marked by priests or clergy people who act kind of as intermediaries between us and this human God. So a lot of people have been following this organized religion for a long time. And it's worked for a long time because that was the age we were in. But now we see mainstream Christian churches everywhere that are really struggling. They're losing members as more people opt for a more individual spiritual path. And in my opinion, that's okay. It's just a sign that we're moving into this new Aquarian age. And it's actually what should be happening. And that doesn't mean it's not painful. For those of us who have inhabited the Piscean age for much of our lives, and we're very used to this form of religion, it can be very painful. But it should be happening because we're now in the age of the Holy Spirit, the home age of God the Mother. That's what the Aquarian age is. So we're moving beyond the need to relate to God as a physical entity with physical rituals. And we're starting to relate to God on a spiritual level. Now, the Aquarian Gospel has some interesting thoughts on this subject. In chapter 35, we find Jesus prior to the beginning of his public ministry. He is visiting India, and he's having a conversation with an Indian sage about this coming Piscean age that Jesus is going to be inaugurating, and what kinds of doctrines, forms, and rites will be best for that age. And Jesus is expressing his idea that that age will surely not require priests and shrines and animal sacrifices. Seems more like kind of a hope he's expressing that won't be necessary. And the sage that he's talking to, Vidyapati, says that the Piscean age is not the perfect age, and therefore people will still need some object lessons and some symbolic rites. And while he agrees, fortunately, that animal sacrifice will not be needed, he does say that the religion Jesus will introduce will require, quote, some simple rites of washings and remembrances, unquote. Now, to me, when I think of rites of washing, I immediately think of Holy Baptism. And when I think of remembrances, I think of Holy Communion or Holy Eucharist, where Jesus tells his disciples to celebrate that in remembrance of him. Vidyapati continues that the coming age, the Piscean age, is not the age of spirit life, and man will pride himself in wearing priestly robes and chanting pious chants to advertise themselves as saints, end quote. Like I said, this describes the age we just left. Now, Vidyapati does go on to talk about the Aquarian age that we are currently in, and he describes this as the perfect age. And he says that in that age, every man will be a priest, and men will not wear special garments to advertise their piety. Another part of the Aquarian Gospel is talking again about the two ages, and it says this about the Piscean age, quote, man is not far enough advanced to live by faith. He cannot comprehend the things that his eyes see not. His God must be a human God. He cannot see a God by faith, unquote. And then he goes on in describing our current Aquarian age, and the Aquarian Gospel says, quote, the age that follows this will be the age of man, the age of faith. In that blessed age, the human race will see without the aid of carnal eyes, will hear the soundless sound, will know the Spirit God, unquote. So all of this is pointing to a time when we will know the God within, the Spirit within, and we will know that Spirit directly without the need for any intervention by priests or churches. So if you're finding it increasingly difficult to relate to the organized religion of your past, I would say don't worry. It may just be that you have moved on into the new age and you're finding the forms and rituals of the past age are just not necessary. You're on a spiritual path and you've reached the point where you're connecting with your higher self, with God, with the spirit within you. So you're moving from this external deity to an internal one. That is a good thing. Now, having said all this, however, I think it's important to note that if you're still fine with organized religion, if it's still meaningful to you, if it's still an important part of your life, if it's still helping you, that's okay too. That doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you or that you're not as spiritually advanced or anything like that. You are right where you need to be on your own unique path. So just honor that and just follow that path. But if at some point you feel a nudge to maybe move away from the forms and the organized religion of the past, don't be afraid to follow that nudge. It's okay. It's okay either way. You just need to go where Spirit leads you. That's all I have for this time. I hope that if you're enjoying these videos, you maybe tell a friend about them. And thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.